Hi everyone, and welcome to a Mighty Ginkgo tutorial. My name is Zero, and I'll be your instructor for this lesson. In this lesson, we're going to convert Bloodborne animations from their Havok format into something that we can use in Blender, like an FBX format or SMD format. Now, before we begin, I just want to state, so that you guys don't waste any time, that I do not know how to extract animations from Bloodborne. I don't know where to get the animations from Bloodborne, and I don't know how to put the animations back into Bloodborne. So if you're looking for any of those, then this is definitely not the tutorial for you. I think somebody already did make a animation extraction tutorial for that. I just don't know how to do it. When I got these animations, a friend of mine just sent them to me and asked me if I could just go with it, and that's how we got here. So I'm not trying to waste your guys' time by making you watch this and then don't address what you're looking for, but that's definitely not something I'm doing. I'm just showing you how you can convert it from Havok into something that you can use in Blender. With that said, I would like to say thank you to Drop Off, and I want to say their name is Bordeaux. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that name properly, but that's going to be our sponsor for this tutorial, as they provided not only the tools, but the animations for us to use in this tutorial today. And Drop Off was the one that described the whole process of how to make this self work before. Granted, it was for Dark Souls 3, but the process still works for Bloodborne, give or take a few extra steps. So, lastly, and then we can jump into the tutorial. I am not one of those people who just show you how it's done. I explain how it's done and why this stuff happens. That way, if you come across any errors when you're trying to work on any other From stuff, what you learn here may be able to help get you out of a pickle. I was going to say sticky situation, but I don't know how I got the pickle. But it'll probably help you out, because then you'll know what to look for and then how to address it. It's not a simple, this is what we do and this is how it's done kind of deal. That's not the kind of tutorial I am, which is why my videos that should be 5 minutes last about 20. So with that said and all the warnings and credits done, we can finally jump in. So I try to make things easy for you by providing you our file pack that our sponsor provided us. Thank you again for making it nice and easy for everybody to use and follow along. It has everything that you need to use the tutorial, a sample pack of animations, the tools, and even an extra model if you want to go look at the doll, whose animations are the ones that we'll be working with today. Sorry, bug on my leg. Everything in here is included except for the Havok engine that we'll be using to make the animations go, because Microsoft took that down and they tend to be really stab happy at people who re-upload it, so I can't re-upload it without losing all the files that I have. So I'll just provide the link from where I got it from, and then you can download it from them. Okay, that being said, let's dive in finally and start tutorialing. So the first thing you want to do is you want to open up the Bloodborne tutorial folder that is provided in the download. Then we're going to go and open up the tools folder. Now we're going to open up the animations folder in a new window, because we need those. And inside you have some converted animations that our sponsor has already done for us. Some FBX one to test the theory out and see that it works. Havok. Oh, this is the skeleton that we're using for the model, as well as the original animations. So we are just going to focus on the folder that says original, and this is where we're going to be working at. So open up the folder that says original, and you'll see all the Havok HKX files inside here with a skeleton included. We need to convert these files and so that we can use them inside of Havok, because if we try to open up Havok right now, ignore that. That's not what's going to happen. You're not going to get that. We try to open up Havok and open up the files that we have here in their original state. You'll get this error about the wrong platform for pack file. And we're just going to say okay. And then we're going to work on converting it so it does open up inside here. So to convert all of these animations and our skeleton, we're going to open up the tools file inside of our tutorial folder. Then we're going to open up the animation converter. Then we're going to select the Place HKX Here folder. And then we're going to go over to our original animations folder and then press Control A to select everything. Then right click and select copy, and then back into the HKA Place HKX folder here folder and press paste. Now you can just cut and paste and move it over, or you can navigate to the folder inside once you open up the program. But I'd like to just follow follow the instructions as they said, and they said put it in there, so we're going to put it in there. So once it is put inside the folder, we're going to go back to the original animation converter folder and select BB animation converter, bbanimconverter.exe. Open that up, and then it will automatically choose the folder, the Place Here folder, and we can just say convert. If you didn't put your folders here, you can press choose folder and then navigate to the folder where your Havok files are. But because we placed them inside that folder, oh dang it, it went away. Let me go, it does it automatically. So once this is open, you want to make sure that this box is checked where it says switch 2014 to 2010, fixes root motion for Bloodborne, box check, and then press convert. Now you'll see it works, and it'll create a log file and say conversion successful if it's done right. And if this helps you out, make sure that you donate some money to the developer who made this program, because without them, we would still be banging our head on the floor screaming why when it didn't work. So I already did it. Well, okay, that's a lie. I didn't donate, but I'm donating them some, cred, right? Recognition, that kind of thing. All right, anyway, so once that's done, we just kind of close it, and we're going to go back to our Place HKX Here folder, and you will see a new folder has appeared, and it says output, and it's all the files that we had in the previous folder, just converted into one that the Havok that we have works. So once you download Havok, we're going to download the 2014 version of Havok, and once we open it, it should look a little something like this. So once you're here, we're going to first need to import a skeleton into Havok before you do the animations, because you can't just throw in the animations because the program will say it doesn't know how to animate it because there's no bones here. So you just need to put in the skeleton first. And luckily it's easily named skeleton, so you can find it with no problems. So to bring in our skeleton, we're just going to open up Havok here and then go to the top where it says File, and then File, Open. And it's going to navigate to our folder that we have our converted stuff to. So just copy the address from that folder and paste it into the file selector and say enter. Then scan down until you see the skeleton.hkx file and select that. And you see our skeleton will come inside here. So once we have our skeleton imported here, it's all a matter of importing the animation. And this is where it's going to be a little tedious, but I'll explain that in a minute. So to import our animation into our skeleton, we are going to go to File, Add, and then scroll down until we find the animation that we want. I want the very first animation at the top because that's the easiest and most recognizable pose for the doll character, Deer Hunter. So we have our skeleton, our animation here, and we can go on to exporting it. So to export the animation, we are just going to simply go back up to our file window where it says File, Save, and then we get this file prompt here to ask us how we want to save it. So we need to put it in a specific format for it to work with our next converter. The format is down here, and we're going to switch it from HKT, select the drop menu, and then switch it to XML. Next, we're going to press the Browse button, and then you're going to name it something that make it recognizable for you to easily select it again. So this is Default Doll Stand. This is what I want to do. Now, before you quickly go and press Enter, what we need to do is select the bottom where it says Save as Type, and switch it to binary tag files binary HKX files, because that's the format we want it to be in. It's .hkx, and then we're going to hit save and then OK when that's done. And now that's done. You have now just saved a converted file. Now I actually skipped a step, and I did that on purpose so I can show you the error and what caused that error and how to fix that error. But before we even dive into that, I want to address the pain in the ass that's about to come up. And that is, let me see. I'm sorry. I had this scripted out, but I just got to think about the best way to say this. Because this is a From Software thing, and in From Software nature, it's going to be a lot harder and tedious than it needs to be. For that, I mean, if you want to import another animation and convert them all, you have to do it one at a time. Although the program does allow us to add in multiple files, you can add in stuff. What this thing does is it plays all the animations in this playlist at the same time. So in order for that not to happen, you have to actually remove the animation and then import the next one. So if we want number 2 right here, we have to do that. So you have to do it one at a time. Open the skeleton, import the animation, save the animation, go through the saving process. Save this as XML cross-platform, and then hit OK. And then once that animation is done, you have to right click on the animation and then press remove, and then do it again for the next one until you get all of the animations that you want. Now I'm just going to stop right there because I really don't need any more besides the first one. But yeah, that's the eye. It's like, well, if it wasn't hard and tedious, it wouldn't be From Software, now would it? So right now we're technically done with Havok. We missed a step, but like I said, I want to show you the error that's going to happen and then how to fix it. This error that I'm going to show you is actually the main problem that people will run into when they're trying to convert Bloodborne animations, because you don't experience this when you convert the Dark Souls animations. So now that we have our animation saved, it's time to put it through the next conversion process, which is turning it into an FBX file. To do that, we need to navigate back to our, we can close this folder, we don't need that. We need to navigate back to our project folder, and we're going to select Tools, and then we're going to choose F4AK, and then we're going to select the one that says F4FK, the one that says UI on there. It's a blue disk with a duck. So when you select this file, you will get this error that comes up that says an application has made an attempt to load the C runtime library incorrectly. Please contact the application support team for more information. And it's scary because it makes you think, oh fudge, my folder's broken or the file's broken. But this is just a common error that happens. It doesn't affect the conversion process. Just hit OK and the program will still work as possible. Now, if you converted any animations from Fallout 4 or Dark Souls 3, you are already aware of this program and how it works. But if you're new, I'm going to explain it to you. So the first thing we need to do is to go to the place where our files are converted, which is here in Tools, Animation Converter, this, Output, and we want to find our converted one. Then we take our, I guess I'm going to say floating dial, because that's a little more visual than just her standing. In fact, we can actually do multiple files at once with this. So we're going to put these guys here inside of our top window where it says drag and drop files. Then we're going to mosey on down here to the bottom part where it says skeleton HKX. And this folder, this section is for the skeleton that we use to convert the animations to. So we're going to just scroll on down here to where it says skeleton, and then we're going to press the button and convert the Havok file into a FBX file. And when we press that folder, this happens. It crashes completely. And you may be slamming your head wondering why, what did you do wrong, and going back and saving it, trying to make it work, but it still keeps crashing and you don't know what you're doing wrong. Maybe we saved it in the wrong format. Maybe we're supposed to save it in FKT instead of FKX. Nah, dude, that was all right. It's all really one very simple step that made me go like, "Urgh," once we figured out what went wrong. So I'm going to save you the hair pull and show you what we do. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to close out our error box. Yes, we know it's broken. Let it do its thing and let it stay here. We need to go back into Havok and we need to select the skeleton that's right here. Just the skeleton with no animations loaded into it, and we're going to go to File, Save As, and we're going to save the skeleton, a whole new skeleton file. And we're going to go to our binary HKX file, and we're just going to name this like new Skelly. That way we don't confuse it with the old Skelly. And then hit save. And then like before, we're going to go to XML cross-platform, and then we're going to hit OK and save that. So now with that new Skelly saved, we're just going to open back up the converter again. And we're going to browse and select the new Skelly, not the old Skelly. And then when we press convert, you see it works perfectly fine, no crashing, does its thing, and outputs an FBX folder. Now it will save in the same location as the source files were, so you don't have to go searching around for it, but I would like to group my stuff by type. Oh, it is. And you see we have our FBX stuff here, and it's ready to go, or so you think. But we're going to pretend that you think and just go upload our FBX files here in Blender and see what happens. So I'm going to open up Blender, and we're going to go to File, Import FBX, and we're going to navigate to that folder, and I'm going to select the floating dial. And when we do so, we get this error. ASII file, FBX files are not supported. So the converter worked, it's just it put it out in a format, old FBX format that Blender doesn't support, doesn't read. Blender likes new FBX folders. I keep saying folders, but you know what I mean, files. So what we want to do is we want to convert those old FBX files into new FBX files. So to make it into a new FBX, we're going to go right back to our project folder where it says Tools, and we're going to open up Gnosis. Now, I used the 64 version, and I have one already installed, but you can use, if it doesn't work for you, the 64 one, you can use the regular one, same vice versa. If it doesn't work for you, for the regular one, you can use the 64-bit one and then see which one works, because that's just the rules. Now, once you have it open, you're going to need to navigate to your folder where it's at. I already have it in there, so I can show you again. You can just go to File, Open, where you saved it, and then select FBX, and you see the skeleton comes into play. There we go. The skeleton comes into play, and you now have your animation. So now from here, you can export it as any format that you need that works with your projects. For example, you just right click on the file name, and then you want to hit export, and then down here where it says additional animation output, you can select which format you like, and whatever format you like depends on what plugins you have installed. So you can, if you want to, export it here as a FBX. Here you can rename it. It's like Fallout, floating dial out is always added to the end of it. Now it converted it into a new FBX that everything supports, or you can do like me sometimes and just export it as a SMD. That's one of my favorite ones, and just in case the FBX don't work right, which it doesn't for me sometimes. But yeah, let's go back into our Blender, open up our file format this time. Let's go back to where we were, output, and floating dial out. It looks like it didn't come in, but it did. It's just really small. Okay, so you can press play. It might snap back down. I never know how to fix that. I know that it's probably something simple like apply scale, but I'm afraid that that's going to mess something up. So that's why I always export it out in SMD whenever something like that happens. So SMD. Woo, that's ugly. Oh, that did not look like that when I did it last time. 1 second. Hold up. Export it as, come on, don't fail me now today. It wouldn't be my tutorial if something didn't go wrong. Alright, day then. Output floating day. There we go, that's pretty. That's what we like to see. So I use day. And as you see, we have our animations here. I don't know why I don't make, oh, maybe float at 1. know how to make it not. Oh. I'm going to pose them real quick, trying to be fancy. So stop at 28. 1 to 28, please. There we go. So now that you have the skeleton and the animation in here floating about, you can easily take this and retarget it to whatever you would like to retarget it to. I'm going to do it to Second Life and try to bring in Bloodborne animations to Second Life because that's what I do. But one thing you got to be wary about is that there are a lot of animations in this game. The dial by itself is only 68 animations and she just stands there. So people actually moving, the fighting, the monsters, all that jazz is in there. And it's going to be a lot of animations. And you have to do all of this one at a time. So it's going to take some time to get all of these animations. But my hope is that by watching this, somebody will realize the process and we'll start sharing them as openly as people do animations. And then we will have a library of animations from these games like we do models, because most of the times people just grab the models and then they're like, animations. So, let's try to turn that curve and make animations more openly available for our projects. It's going to take a while and it's going to take a lot of work, but I think that we can do it. And I hope that this tutorial helps out making that dream come just a little step closer. Well, that's it for me. That's everything you guys need to know on how to get Bloodborne animations going into your projects. I hope you guys have fun, and I hope that this helps you. If it does, make sure you comment down, because I like sharing that, Thank you, Zero. This thing helped me out. It's a little head pet that I enjoy. But yeah, I never know how to say goodbye. I never want to say goodbye. I like hanging out with you guys. But no. Okay, gotta go. See you guys, and I hope to help you out on the next project. So see you then. This has been Zero. Bye.